So singleton is a design pattern, how it will ensure that you need to create a single object throughout the life cycle of the JVM, right? That's what singleton says that. Today, we learn about another creational design pattern that's called factory. So what is factory? So as the name suggests, right? What happens in a factory? Check actually anything actually in your real life. What happens in a factory?
Product will
Yeah, so produces anything actually. A factory is nothing but it produces something. It may be a garment factory. It may be a different factories are there, right? Anything, car factory or anything. What they will do? They will produce. They will produce materials, right? They will produce something actually, some products, anything actually that can be uh, at the end actually factory produces something that has a product. So same thing. So we actually use factory in Java also. In Java, what is a product? We in Java actually when we are doing a program, our product is actually creating the object. So the factory produces a object. In Java, the factory design pattern is nothing but it produces a object. That is called factory design. So how actually how difficult it is how different is it is from singleton, right? So yeah, there is singleton. Singleton is actually creational design pattern, but it ensures actually to have only one object throughout the JVM. But factory is not like that. Factory creates as many of products, as many as objects you want. So let's take actually, let's say you have a class. Uh, so when we say about this one, right, we also talk about abstract factory. Okay. We call about abstract factory as well. So let's look into that one. So let's say in today example, let's say that we are taking we will take an example like a how to create a electricity bill today. Okay. So let's take that this is abstract plan. Plan is abstract actually. So this has so this has some subclasses as well. So the subclasses again say that this is residential plan, this is commercial plan, this is enterprise plan. Okay, three subclasses we have. So it extends actually. We have another class called, this is our billing API. So this is called electricity billing service. Okay. So where actually it has a this one, right? Where it calculates bill. Okay. Here in this one, we have calculate bill. We have something called calculate bill. So this calculate bill, what happens, right? For each unit, it has a plan name and units. So which will return a total price for that month. So now, right, the my intention is actually, like, let's say if it is residential, let's say it is if it is residential, let's say it is 10 rupees per unit. Okay. If it is small scale, right, maybe they are charging 12 rupees per unit. If it is enterprise, right, big enterprises, so it's 20 rupees per unit. So depending on that, I need to calculate that. One way is actually, let's say programmatically, like how we can do that. Instead of doing in the Excel PPT, we'll do here. So yeah, so this is my package, and here actually I created it. So as I said, right, what it here, it returns a big decimal. Okay, my intention is calculate bill. So which has string plan name and it's int units. Okay, maybe if she rejoins, actually we can hear her. Okay, now, right, big decimal, it's the return value. This is what actually my pro yeah, now here, right, as I said, right, if there is one way that simple way is what I will do if uh, plan name is what if it is residential, e equals plan name. Okay, do this one. Or if small scale done equals plan name, then do this one. If enterprise, just do this one. Okay. So we will do likewise, and then we'll calculate the price. But actually, this if logic, right, is kind of a clumsy. You were here actually what you are doing, you are responsible to do a electricity bill calculation. You know, like a when it comes to you, right? You should know like what it is and how to do this one. Uh, I mean to say that this if else logics, right? It adds like clumsy logic. Your business actually, you don't need to like segregate that one. If you segregate it appropriately, uh, like uh, divide and conquer, right? You people generally will divide, distribute the work and do it, right? So instead of using this if else logic, actually put this aside and let every class actually uh, decide like how to calculate the electricity bill. So here actually we have residential, uh, a separate process how to calculate the residential bill. Maybe it has slabs, maybe it doesn't have slabs. If I keep on add the if else, for example, actually for residential, it has slabs as well. So if 100 units, it's free, right? Uh, if uh, if greater than 100 units, then only for maybe like if uh, greater than 100 and less than 150, then price is unit price is $2, 2 rupees only. Likewise, actually, it has a different logic here. When it comes to here, small scale, maybe like a first 1,000 units, actually, it's a flat rate at 12 rupees. After that, maybe it's going for slabs. For enterprise, no matter what, actually, they will go. If it's 20 rupees, maybe the rules are business driven, right? Why actually your if else it has to come in the if else logic when you know it actually it's clearly you can segregate it. So that's why actually it comes for uh, factory design pattern or abstract factory design pattern. So what we do, right, instead of doing this if else logic, what we do, we'll create abstract class first called plan. As all you know, like abstract, what is the abstract rule in abstract class? What is the rule? What is the rule in abstract?
Uh, Method without implementation.
Correct.
If you want to
So
make
abstract class
classes.
can have at least one abstract class can have at zero or more abstract methods. An abstract method
Yes.
is a method with the definition only, without any implementation. Okay. So I will take this one, calculate bill, right? Uh, or let me take it like a different way. Plan factory. So what it does, get plan. And just we pass string plan name. Or let me go without this one first. Let me explain you with the normal factory, then we can go with the abstract factory, plan factory then. Now what I will do, I have a plan, which is like a abstract plan or anything actually. At this time, I don't have any implementation of this one, but let me explain if we need implementation. Next is we have, as I mentioned, residential plan. Next one is small scale organization plan. Next one is enterprise plan. So in the plan, right, what we'll have? We'll have like a calculate. Calculate.
మెంతులు ఎందుకు వేసుకుంటారు పన్న మెంతులలో ఈస్ట్రోజన్ ఉంటుంది ఈస్ట్రోజన్ ఉంటే నొప్పి తక్కువవుతుంది ఊరికైనా వేసుకోవచ్చు దీని మీద వేసుకోవడం లేదు ఎంత అయింది ఇంకా క్లాస్ చెప్తున్నావు అమ్మ నువ్వు క్లాస్
We have plan and we have int units. So this one will calculate. This one will calculate your. Yeah. So we will implement this one in all child classes. Plan factory first acceleration plan. So it extends plan. Okay. It's not abstract. Yeah. So what we did, we created a plan where abstract plan, and in that actually we added a abstract method called. Remember, this is what actually I always tell you, right? Only Dakshayani is telling the answers. You people need to come up with answers. What is abstract? It's very, very important. So abstract method is a method with only definition. It does not have any it does not have any implementation. Okay, so the child classes can have its own implement. Child has to implement it. Otherwise, it will throw an error. So for example, as I mentioned here, residential plan, if I don't implement this one and extend this abstract, right, it will throw error. So I have two options here. Either I need to make it abstract this one also. So it's changed. It's a grandchild class actually can implement that one. Or else actually I need to implement here itself. Okay. So this is actually abstract classes we have created and abstract methods also we have created to calculate the bill. Now what I will do in the plan factory, I will go here. This if else logic, right? I will implement it here. If else logic, I will move it to here. So what it will do? It gets plan. Whatever it is, right? It just gets the plan. Plan equals to null. So I'm returning my plan here. So no compilation issue, error so far. So if it is residential, it will return plan equals to new residential plan. Because it's a super class, we can still cast it this way. So next this way, plan equals to new small scale organization plan. Okay. Why? Because again, it's a super class. Plan equals to enterprise plan. New enterprise plan. Okay, so this is what our plan factory does. So what plan factory is doing, depending on the conditions, various of objects actually with a abstract pattern, it's returning with the abstract class, the plan, depending on the plan name, it returning the appropriate class name. New is actually created in a factory. This is factory. This guy is creating for you and giving it to you. Now actually what my electricity bill will do, right? So this guy will simply call, okay, get my plan equals to, either you can make this one singleton to avoid actually multiple instances. So let's make actually singleton. So one more rule in the singleton is we'll generally make final. Why? Because we don't want actually even inherit this guy and make it another object. So final makes nobody can extend this one. All right. Next, actually, what I'm doing, next rule is in our singleton private class. What is the next rule in the singleton? How to create singleton? No answers. How to create singleton? It's extradx class only. No,
So we can create one object
yeah,
and
constructor is private. We already created it. Yeah, go Dakshan. Tell me.
like అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనము ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేశాక దాన్ని మనము ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ఎన్నిసార్లు మనం కొత్త ఆబ్జెక్ట్ అనేది క్రియేట్ చేసినా అది యూజ్ అవుతుంది కదా.
Right. So we created private, right? I explained you in 3 simple steps in last class. See, these are the 3 simple steps. I'm giving you like a little intuitive, like very, very detailed, small answers. If you can't remember, Kavya, you just showed me program. What's the purpose of that program? If you don't actually focus on this one. A private constructor will limit creation of the objects. A static get instance method will create an object if it is already created. So why I have to explain you these much details actually, why it has to come private, static. If you go anywhere, right, they won't even spend this much time on this singleton or factory or anything. I also told you like early initialization and lazy initialization and everything. So we create a static instance variable, and through static uh, static method, anything like new instance or get instance, any method, it's up to our choice. So what we will do, we will return this one. So what we will do, first we will check if factory equals to null. That means no object is not initialized. Factory equals to null. Factory equals to new plan factory. So because again I'm repeating it one more time. Why factory? How factory will make actually single instance in the JVM? Sorry, how singleton will make single instance in the JVM? First is private class. Private class will make will restrict actually creation of any object outside of this class. Okay, so nobody can create plan factory equals to plan factory except in this class. Second one, we'll have a static instance where anybody can access this class without a object. Static is class member, right? So if we create a static, anybody can access without creation of the object. So this way actually we can create a instance here within this class. Okay. This way actually we create here actually we just added a logic that if factory equals to null, this instance is null, then create new factory. So it will create a new object here. And then we are returning it. If already created, every time actually the same is in this instance only will be returned. It will not return another instance. So it's a singleton. That's where actually we can conclude that only one instance will exist throughout the life cycle of the JVM. And also we made another extension to yesterday's class that we made a class also final. Why? Because if you make final, or actually private is enough actually. If you make final, you can't even extend another class, right? So we made this one. Now actually what we will do, plan factory dot new instance dot get plan name. So this will give the actual plan. So what it's actually two steps. So let me break it down actually. Plan factory. Plan equals to plan factory dot get plan with plan name. So the first step is singleton here, which will new, which will return a single instance of plan factory. Okay. Next one is we are getting factory pattern here. Factory. So based on plan name, it will create a new plan. Can be residential, small scale, or enterprise. Okay. Now here what I will do, I already have a method in that, right? So here actually whatever the logic I want to write it, I will write it within that respective plan. Now return, okay. My return value will be plan dot calculate bill. Okay. So I don't think, one second, let me see. Plan name is not necessary here. Just units is required. Plan name is already mentioned, right? So it's not required. So here I will pass just units and that's it. So my calculate bill is pretty simple now. So it just actually calculates whatever actually the logic, domain logic, what we call, right? Domain logic. Maybe it's all depends like let's think that actually every individual is different, right? So if you go to electricity department or anything, right? Even the guys actually who work in residential plan may be different in who work for a commercial plans, like a enterprise plan or small scale plans. So they don't know actually all the details each other. So we are just segregating it, differentiating it, segregating it, and we are having a clean code here. That's the whole purpose of factory design pattern. Factory, what it will do, depending on the whatever we are passing a value, right? It creates a object. Factory is, as a factory mentioned, it creates objects. As many number of you want, it will creates it. It can be actually anything according to your specific need. In this case, actually, we are creating uh, different plans. Okay, maybe we can simplify it and explain one more example after that. So here, right? So let's go and implement the pricing. So okay, return value equals to return value dot multiply, right? So the unit price here, right? Let's say unit price is 10. Okay, unit price is 10. So what I'm doing, I'm multiplying with units. 10 into whatever the number of units it is, right? Because it's a big decimal multiplication, both of them need to be in the big decimal. So 10 is multiplied by number of units, and that's what the return value is. So let's go and here actually implement small scale also. So here small scale, as I mentioned, it is $12, 12 rupees. New big decimal of 12 actually. So return value equals to return value dot multiply units. Enterprise plan, same thing. It's 20 rupees, right? New decimal of 20. Yeah. So we created different implementation for this one. So for any questions, so factory here actually based on the plan name, we are creating objects. Objects actually, how we are creating. Yeah, how we are creating the objects is depending on the plan actually, whatever we are passing. Just we are creating a new instance. But actually here you need to note down that there is a single type of return plan. And we are creating different types. The implementation is actually we are creating different types. But at the time, it's the return type is the superclass. That's why actually we create abstract. And as we know that abstract can have like abstract methods. The abstract methods are a just a skeleton methods, a definition methods. The implementation comes in the base classes, derived classes. There actually I will go in the base classes wherever I'm implementing. I will have like my own logic uh, or my own logic of actual implementation. So the plan factory, what it does, it just creates uh, based on the abstract class, right? For that child classes, actually it will create the instances and return it. So now this is what our electricity bill actually how we generated it, how we created it. Now let me write a test case for this one. So let me create a package first. Refactor, rename. Let me copy everything. Test package. So this is electricity bill service. Okay, so this is what my test case, right? So here what I will do, I have how many types of test cases I can write? Okay, so what my this just calculate bill, right? So calculate bill, private void, test method should be void, right, for residential. Uh, so my expected big decimal, my units plan name is actually I will pass it here. So before that, actually I'm instantiating one object of electricity bill service here. Bill service equal to new electricity bill service. Okay. My string plan name equals to residential int units equals to, let's say he burned 200 units. So now I'm calling, let me create, or I am not creating any new object. Okay, bill service dot calculate bill plan name units, which will return a big decimal value. Total charges. That's my total charges. So here what I'm going to do, asset equals asset equals, right? My total charges is how much? Now actually my expected result is, if I passing 200, because residential charges are 10, so it will be like a 2000 is my expected result. So this is my test case method. So let's take test. Let me see if it is working as expected or not. Yep, it's working as expected. Now, right, we'll write another method, public void calculate bill for small scale. Try to copy same thing. So what would be my expected results here? If it is, I'm passing 200 units and my unit price is 12 rupees. Yeah, unit price is 12 rupees and I'm passing 200 units.
2,400.
Right. That's my second test method. Next one is, so let me copy small scale enterprise. This is enterprise. Let's say this is 500. Okay, and my unit price here is 20. So how much is the expected?
10K. 10.
Right, 10,000. So these are all positive test cases. So if I say that, right, all okay, run with coverage. So all methods are covered. See, actually you can see it. All methods covered, right? Even the code coverage is 10%, 100%. all code is covered. In everywhere, actually, it's 100%, 100%, 100%. But still, right, we have to test it in negative way also. What if actually, because it's a int, right? Always think about both positive and extreme situations. What happens actually if we don't pass this if else, right? If we don't pass the right value, what happens? So let's take that dummy plan for dummy plan. Now actually there is no plan called dummy. So I'm passing this one. So what my expected result in this case? What happens?
False. Okay.
Right. It throws null pointer exception. Why? Because here, right, plan factory, get plan. What it is doing factory? If it is exist, actually it is returning it.
Yeah.
Right? If not exist, actually, it's not returning anything. It will be null. And you cannot actually call null dot calculate. So it will throw a null pointer exception, which is a runtime exception. So your test case need to be adjusted. It's not like this one. So your test case actually there are many ways, two ways actually to do this one. So you can try catch null pointer exception. Okay. Here actually you can make it like a success. Assert dot assert true. That's it. Right? You are passing true so that it pass. Else actually if it is not coming here, that means there is no exception. Then if it is coming here, right, that means actually it's failed. Actually as a true, but false. Here actually in negative way, you can say that, okay, in my negative, this is my negative test case, and negative test case actually if exception happen, it is passed. If exception not happen, it's failed. So that's why actually you can make it. So if we do that one now, right, still exception will happen. Okay, we are not printing it, right? In pe dot instant place. You see, exception happen, but still test case is passed because we are we know it actually how to write the test case, and we know what is the expected result. For this test case, expected results, this one is passed. So likewise, actually, you can create your own boundary conditions. What happens? You need to come up with this one. Every time, right? If you create it, you need to think. You need to know like what you are writing first. When you start doing programming, right? You should have like a. That's what you need to first come up with a blueprint. What you need to do it, how to write it. Once the blueprint is ready, start doing the programming. The blueprint actually you can do like a either on the paper or on the or any of the scribble pads or even if it is IDE actually write pseudocode, write flowcharts, anything. First think about that one. When you come to a plan, right, then start writing the program. So it always depends on software life cycle. Even though actually you are working on a single program, so always decide this one. Don't actually go and do program. So they, I think I already explained multiple times this one. So the first step is analysis. So what we do in here, so what we do here in analysis, we understand, we read the requirement, what we need to do it and how to do it. This way we analyze it. What is our goal is. Here, what is outcome? What is my goal? Make sure what is your goal. That's what actually your analysis phase. Next one comes up with plan. Plan, you know it, what in the plan actually, you will think that how you can uh, do it. How you can reach your goal. What analysis is, what is your goal? Next comes like a plan, how you can reach that one. So also you can think like a design. Put them in a proper design document or anything, right? So in this case, right, there might be other outcomes will be like a design document. A design document or pseudocode. Likewise, actually, you can come up with outcomes here. Analysis is just actually what you understand. Okay. Next comes up coding. Here, actually, you actually start implementing the code. So this is write or implement code. You will implement the code. Next it comes the testing. Here actually you will know it whether your code is working or not. So here it will come, it can be like a JUnits and all, actually it will come here. JUnits, unit testing, JUnits, unit testing. All these things will be part of this testing. So most of you, what I notice is actually you are directly going here. No, stop here, coming here. Don't even come here without this one, without this one. Maybe you know this one and you are coming here. First put that your idea, like what you want to do it. So this is why software engineering is called a skilled job. Okay. You even think that actually if you are doing like a mason job, like a who is constructing a home, which you feel like a labor, uh, he still do plan analysis, plan, coding. Coding is nothing but for him actually how to build it. So if you are if you observe even the mason or a scaffolding builder, right? What he will do it first when he is constructing a home. First, actually, he will build a scaffolding. That means rough sketch, right? Whether the wall will come straight or not, how the wall will come. First, actually, whether they're using the strings or whether using some wood, actually, he will build with a scaffolding. Scaffolding is nothing but a frame, actually, he will build that one. And inside the frame, actually, he will start building the bricks and all, actually putting the bricks so that actually the wall will come straight. Otherwise, what happens? The wall will come all angles, right? So, and all angles of this, it may not be sustainable or it doesn't look good. So everybody actually it follows these kind of steps, step by step. And that too, as this software engineering is a skilled job, you need to have a proper steps, outcomes actually for each step. For analysis phase, what you have to do it. For planning phase, what you have to do is. For coding phase, what you have to do it. For testing phase, how you tested it. So there will be like each and every phase there will be outcome. So make sure you are following the steps. At least till you get like a hands-on. Okay, so hands-on means what? If you follow cricket or anyone, actually for Sachin, you don't need to actually, he don't need to go everyday training, but still actually he can make runs. Whereas actually some other guys, right, entry level guys, like whoever coming, like let's think that you are a entry level guys. So for you actually, you need to get, go to the ground every day, get trying, and then actually will make one day you will also become to that level, right? After a certain level of experience. So that's what. So I mean, that's only for known things, but for still unknown things, actually he has to go for practice and he has to learn it and everything, right? So this software engineering is a lifelong student job. You will learn every day, actually you will be learning new tasks, new things in your life. Okay, so sorry, I deviated. That's actually about uh, factory. So let me create actually one more thing, one more simple way to explain what is this factory. Apple factory. So what it does, it just creates, there is a method called Apple. Okay, let's say that. So this is Apple. Just it has like a type of apple. What kind of apples it has it? It has it. So depending what we have actually, there are many apples. Uh, uh, there are many kinds of apples, right? So for example, mango. Mango actually it has like a Alfonso's mangoes, Nujudu Rasalu. These all things actually you will say that, right? So similarly, Apple has also like a different types of apple. So what we are going to do today, we are creating just apples. So depending on whatever we pass it, uh, so it creates apple. So okay, now this is what my Apple factory. So Apple, it returns apple, create apple. Name. Okay, what type of apple you want it. So what it do, depending on whatever you are doing, it just returns new apple of type name. Now, right, what I will do, I will create a test method also for this one to create, to just explain you. Gala apple. So what I'm going to do, I want to create, like let me create first apple create factory. One instance actually I created. Now here, right, I'm just creating Gala apple, right? So z equals Gala is my type of apple expected. Okay, now I am typing to do new apple called Gala. I am asking here to create apple equals to apple factory dot apple factory. So instead of doing singleton and all, actually I went directly to static method and creating it. Apple factory dot create apple. So here actually I mentioned Gala. Okay. So it's very simple factory. To just explain you what is factory. Whatever I am passing, it just creates up. Factory is nothing but creates objects. So here it just creating objects. As many number of times I ask, it creates as many number of types. It's not singleton. Remember this one. Singleton ensures that only one object in the JVM. But factory, it just creates as many times actually you want. Okay, now actually I ask actually Apple to create Gala. Yeah, it created Gala. So I can still ask, okay, create QG. QG Apple. I can still ask, so it will still create it. So it just segregation of the, removing the object creation and giving the sole responsibility to a factory. That's all it is. Factory is nothing but creating an object. Why you need a factory? Why you can't actually use new? It just actually creational logic, right? You want to segregate it to a separate in a separate class. That's when actually we'll use factory. And abstract factory, as I explained you, where actually it will be having a abstract class like this. Okay, and depending on some criteria, actually it will return one of the child class of the abstract class, one of the child class of the abstract class. That's called abstract class, abstract factory. It can be interface. This can be like a interface also. We can still go for the interfaces and all, but I am limiting the factory. Again, there is more concepts also in the factory. I'm limiting it in eventually actually once you cover later classes, right? We'll go deeper on this one. So any questions on this one?
So will you explain the test cases of
here
electric
test
bills?
cases of okay.
You created one on this dummy plan. I haven't done this.
Okay. This dummy plan, right? This is a boundary condition. So we have actually created residential small scale enterprise. So there might be a boundary condition, right? Always we need to think up a boundary condition. What if actually there will be a typo error, right? Somebody is not passing enterprise. They pass like a instead of enterprise, they spelled it wrong or something actually they misunderstood wrong. They mentioned like experience or entertain. Enter, instead of enterprise, they mention entertain. So now you need to have the expected results actually will fail, right? Why it is failing? If somebody passes like anything that is not there, you need to come up with a plan that it should fail. System should fail. So that fail is your expected case here. That's why actually the fail is expected. The system should fail is a good result for you. If somebody is passing actually a wrong value, system should fail. That's when actually your test case, you feel that the test case is passed. If it is passing, right, entertain also, that means actually somewhere some program is something screwed up. Maybe, for example, let me tell you, here you are passing entertain, right? But actually some developer, what he did here in the plant factory, right? So by default, let's say he created something like this. Yeah, something like this he created. Okay. All test cases will pass, right? In this case, all three test cases will pass. Residential will pass, small scale will pass, this one also will pass. Okay. So you feel that, okay, my program will work. Okay. Somebody actually found with some silly mistake like this, your program actually behaving differently, right? Instead of somebody will ask like somebody actually like a enterprise guy actually for 500 units actually, his bill will be calculated like a 5,000 only. It will be a loss for you, right? As an organization. So somebody will find out like a why at the end actually, maybe in the reconciliation process or anything, actually you will find out why my entertainments enterprise actually got like a totally my 10 companies are there. I'm expecting like a 5 lakhs rupees this month, but why actually less amount coming? Then actually somebody need to go back and revisit like what happened, where the mistake happened, and this is what happened. What the mistake is, if you see this one, right, it will come as expected result is 200. It will come here. So if you see actually here, uh, if you run this again, you will see that it's, yeah, see 5,000. But what actually you are expecting, because this is a wrong input, it shouldn't even calculate it. It should throw error so that actually somebody need to fix that one.
Yes.
That's what actually you need to do it. So it found, right? The issue is found. So now actually you can assign to a developer or whoever developer it. Then he will go and fix that. Okay, this is what the issue is. Let me do it. Now it will run. It will pass it. Okay, you got it.
Okay. Yeah.
Any
Yes,
other
sir.
questions? Okay, then that's all for today. Tomorrow, actually, I will start a builder pattern. Again, please, it's for you, not for me. For you, make sure you are doing what you are doing, first thing. And please try to spend more time on coding. Only Dakshani, I heard like only Dakshani doing the certification assignments. Take anything, even the white paper one actually, right? I sent you actually a link in the last class. Even if it doesn't have like a radio buttons or a automatic testing plan, take the already dump a Word document or anything. Try actually test yourself like uh, where you are missing your knowledge or where you are missing topics. I'm happy to explain. If you come up with, okay, I want to explain this topic, I'm happy to explain one more time.